We've all heard the advice, right? Especially around New Year's. Just eat less and move more. Simple. But what if that advice is the very thing setting so many of us up to fail? Today, we are going to dive into a totally different way of thinking that flips that old script on its head. And it all comes down to one single, incredibly powerful hormone.
You know the feeling, that constant, gnawing hunger when you're trying to be good. It feels like this epic battle of willpower, and let's be honest, it's a battle we almost always lose. But what if the problem isn't your willpower at all? What if the entire model we've been sold is just wrong?
For more than half a century, we've been taught to think of our bodies like a simple math equation. Calories in, calories out. But that's just not how we work. Our bodies are incredibly complex biological systems, not some simple furnace you just shovel fuel into.
And this is the fundamental difference. The old calorie model, it's all about deprivation. You eat less, you feel hungry, and your metabolism actually slows down to conserve energy. It's a losing game. But the new hormone model, it's about eating smarter. It's about controlling your body's hormonal signals to work with you, leading to feeling full and actually boosting your metabolism, a completely different outcome.
And this right here really gets to the heart of it. See, your body actually burns energy just digesting the food you eat. It's called the thermic effect of food. And get this, studies show that if you eat a low-carb, high-fat meal, your metabolic rate kicks up way more than if you eat a high-carb meal with the exact same number of calories. Your body is literally working harder and burning more, all based on the type of calorie you gave it. So if calories aren't the king, then who is? Well, this brings us to the main event, the central player in this whole metabolic story. There's one hormone that basically tells every single cell in your body what to do with energy. And its name is insulin.
Now here's the absolute key to understanding all of this. Insulin isn't just about blood sugar. Dr. Bikman calls it the one metabolic hormone to rule them all. And its primary job, its main mission, is to take energy out of your bloodstream and shove it into storage.
So how does this play out in real life? It's a super simple chain reaction. You eat something high in carbs, cereal, pasta, bread, and boom, your insulin levels spike. Insulin immediately starts shouting orders to your body. Stop burning fat for fuel. We've got all this new energy coming in. Store it. Store it in the fat cells. It literally flips the fat storage switch to the on position.
And just to show you how powerful this is, listen to this quote. This isn't a suggestion. It's not a theory. It's a metabolic law. If you don't have insulin signaling your body to store fat, it just can't happen. Period.
But here is the really cruel twist in all this. When insulin is high, it's busy pushing all that energy from your blood into your cells for storage. So what happens? The amount of available fuel floating around in your bloodstream plummets. Your brain, which is a massive energy hog, senses this drop and hits the panic button. You start feeling hungry, you get brain fog, and all you can think about is eating more carbs to get that energy back up. It's a truly vicious cycle.
Okay, so what happens if we can keep insulin low? What happens when we get off that roller coaster? Well, our body unlocks this amazing alternative fuel source. And as it turns out, it might just be the fuel our bodies and our brains were always meant to run on. We're talking about ketones. So what are they? It's pretty simple, actually. When insulin is low, your fat cells finally get the signal to release all that stored fat. It travels to your liver, and your liver starts burning so much of it so fast that it produces these little energy molecules called ketones. It's the liver's way of sharing all that abundant fat energy with the rest of your body, especially your brain. And oh man, the brain absolutely loves them. Why? Well, for one, they're a much cleaner burning fuel than glucose, producing fewer damaging byproducts. And unlike that up and down energy rush from carbs, ketones provide this incredibly stable, consistent stream of fuel. The result? Brain fog disappears, focus sharpens, sugar cravings, they just vanish. You're no longer a slave to that next sugar hit. And it gets even better. It's not just about what your brain is burning. Dr. Bikman's own lab discovered that when you expose human fat cells to ketones, the metabolic rate of the fat tissue itself, the speed at which it burns energy, can go up by 3 times. Think about that. Your fat literally starts burning itself at triple the speed. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually put it into practice, right? Well, Dr. Bikman lays out a super simple, practical framework you can use every single day. So the whole protocol is designed to do one thing: keep insulin low during the most active parts of your day. Notice this isn't about painfully counting every calorie. It's about timing and what your meals are made of. You start the day with low or no carbs. You have your biggest meal at lunch, packed with protein and fat to keep you full for hours. You squeeze in some resistance training. And then, and this is so important, you relax and have a normal, balanced dinner with your family. Yes, carbs are okay here. Let's just look at how this builds a lifestyle you can actually stick with. Breakfast is optional, but if you have it, the goal is just to keep insulin down. Lunch is your big fuel up for the day to crush hunger. And dinner? Dinner is about social connection, not strict rules. This is what makes it sustainable for the long haul.
And this is where it gets really powerful, because the benefits here go way, way beyond just the number on the scale. When you start controlling insulin and using ketones for fuel, you're really talking about a strategy for optimizing your entire body.
I mean, look at the implications for long-term health. For the brain, ketones can provide a vital alternative fuel source for brain cells that are struggling to use glucose, which is a hallmark of conditions like Alzheimer's. For your heart, it can actually improve its efficiency. You hold on to your precious muscle mass while losing fat, which is absolutely critical. And maybe most importantly, you're fighting back against insulin resistance, which is now understood to be at the very root of so many of our chronic diseases. This is about so much more than just being lean.
So, we'll just leave you with this one question to think about. What if we just stopped thinking about diets as a form of punishment, as something based on restriction and deprivation? What if, instead, the goal was simply to find and provide our bodies and our brains with the clean, stable, powerful fuel they were actually designed to run on? The answer to that, well, it could change everything.